welcome to my Tenpines settlement. I made this settlement for both a upcoming Let's Play based off my old Fallout Let's Play I did for Fallout New Vegas, and I also made it to show off on some type of Reddit thread or competition. Since my brother had done it a few times, he talked me into finally getting one put out, so I decided to actually make one to publish. I will probably end up doing a settlement kind of transfer for this, but right now it's only in my save file because I was still doing edits to it until earlier today. A bit of a heads up for lore on this settlement: it used to belong to the Minutemen, predating the whole Quincy massacre that happened, and now after that, and the Minutemen have become dispersed and not really available anymore, the Minutemen that were here were killed off by a large raider attack. I did end up spawning the Minutemen, killed them just for like a little bit of lore, including Captain West, which is a custom named one. But all the raiders here, which was from an attack of 3 raiders and an attack of like 10 on the settlement, they all actually appeared at the settlement. So that's kind of like the preemptive lore that you need to know. Here we have a marquee sign with a Minutemen poster in the leaves with a little bit of a statue, since you don't really have any unlocked until you go through and do different things and like get picket fences. But this character has spawned in Tenpines Bluff. All the stuff available to him was from Tenpines Bluff, being in God mode and whatever the game starts with. Over here decorated, these predate the dead Minutemen. We have 2 separate grave sites set up. Find the second one. There's a cross that's set up. There was actually a 3rd gravesite set up, but it's unmarked because after making it I couldn't find it, so it's just lovely. Here's our second one next to a dead raider. Now while we're outside of the walls, I'll go ahead and show you guys our church. There's Father Frederick in it. This church is protected by the guards at Tenpines Bluff, but he's not an official citizen of Tenpines Bluff. He just provides us with the service, and we let him stay here with our little bit of like guardianship. Back here he has his own little house, a bed with a sleeping bag to keep him warm in the night, dresser, decorations, his own light. It's a very small building. It's larger than some other buildings in this, but he has very little dedicated to himself. Settlers will actually come here when they're done with their shifts or whatever they're doing for the day, and they can relax. It's pretty good because before they would just hang around the bar, but now it spreads them out a bit. Back here I broke up the monotonous pattern in the wall, which was all just high, and I think, yeah, a bit of small junk fences lining the entire settlement to keep it safe. Because when I was making this settlement, I was thinking a lot about Megaton for Fallout 3, a little bit of The Walking Dead. I wanted it to be a very secure settlement, but not very large. See, we broke it up a little bit, added some junk. See the counterpart to the statue we have back there, laying on the ground. Some generous clutter. Now that's it for our whole outside area. There's not much. There's a little bit of decorations like tacked on, like this motorcycle, cinder blocks. I put some rebar and stuff supporting around the walls occasionally. Small things. So they're protected by the Minutemen sign. It's been kind of discarded since the Minutemen are no longer a thing. Go and cast them off since you have nothing to gain. If there's anyone that has problems with the Minutemen, you don't have to worry about that anymore. And here is our first kind of gateway area. This is where either people we don't know too well come in, or just caravan traders who wish to only trade for bulk supplies with the Brahmin. There is a Brahmin feed trough set up for the Brahmin itself to eat at. We have our guard up here who maintains lights for the front, guard Kristen, and turns on the marquee, so at night you can see a bit more with the help of our little spotlight. Over here we have a Caravan Travel Hub set up for Horizon, because this is meant to be used for a survival let's play, like I said before. Back here is where we have our supplies we use to trade for, like the Brahmin. They normally bring a lot of bulk, so if we're going to be doing any trading of people, we'll be getting supplies out of here, stuff we don't really need. Now, that's really it for this area. We have the Tenpines Bluff sign up there. There's a whole section you can see on the other side talking about them being protected by the Minutemen. That sign is now covered up by an American flag, and cast them off, because if you have nothing to gain from them, you don't need their enemies. Over here on the left, we have part of our wall, which is actually a tower home I made. The walls I had a custom snap because they didn't fit onto it normally. I wanted to make 2 little houses out of it. And here some posters, like they're all kind of war propaganda stuff. His own fire barrel, a little toolbox, small bed. It's not luxurious living, but he has his own place, or she. Most of the settlement is actually women. I didn't mean to do that. Most of the settlement too is they have, like, they live over into a communal living. They're all poor. There is 3 actual people who live with good housing, myself included, but these 2 houses are the only other people that get to live by their own that aren't considered wealthy in the settlement. The dean dominant, less politicized, less patriotic with what he decorates. Over here we have a covered area that's used for general crafting, maintenance, even a relaxation kind of area. You know, it's a metal bench. If you just kind of want out of the way, you can sit back here, which actually plays part, which I'll go and show. There's going to be some other things that are reliant on it. We have a bar set up, even though some of the chimes are stuck. There is a bar set up here. Food and drink. Settlers here get their meal tickets for what they do. Farmers, especially, since they are the poorer ones of the settlement. She can sell you alcohol for extra caps, so you can just get your meal and leave. She cooks her meal back here on the little patio on her grill, which also has a cue to relax on, which I'm not going to do just because it's an animation. It takes a little bit. Your character leans your back against it. You just sit there. There is a dartboard here, poster, and another little area to rest and eat. The only one in the bar itself. And I'll go and say, this whole thing, it does get dark, and it's not the best lighting because this is a poorer settlement, and there will be more of these things and all that. Like, it's gonna be small and broken up. There's no big, like, mass community projects that are gonna be helping everyone. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you up here. We have one of our guards that helps Kristen, Lainey, overwatches the front with her, and can watch over here in case anyone invades it. You can see raiders come from down there, even they come from the front. Like, that's where we have most of our guards actually facing this way. We also have a few test dummies to kind of draw fire within roleplay. Sadly, raiders don't target them, but in roleplay, if someone was to attack the settlement at night, which is most logical, they could have a chance of just shooting those. And here we have one of the most luxurious houses in general. It's the mayor's house. She's still in power after the whole Minutemen kind of presence is gone, but she isn't doing too much. She's mainly just economic, trade, and stuff. That's what she's over. She has this, which is for Horizon again. It lets me work between settlements. I didn't want to put in my own house. So my character is working as sheriff, not as mayor. There is some more relaxation cues or whatever. When they're not doing a job, they can look at that, look through files, even more file cabinets. She mainly is over trading commerce for the area. She has her own bed, dresser, decorations, little rug, and an area to keep some of her own supplies. She's rewarded pretty well for all she's done, aka having people in here that bring in money. Over here is, I would say, the actual wealthiest person in the whole settlement, our general trader. Back here we have some just general clutter you could buy. Mr. Handy, like box. You have just general stuff like rat poison, plunger, feather duster, broxo, dog bowl, cat bowl. Here you have some crafting supplies, fuel, and over to this left of the fuel you have Beth. She serves as the general trader for our place. It's a level 2 trading place. On most of these signs you'll see on my trading booths, I added them on from different decoration mods I had because I didn't want to keep saying the same font and everything. I think I have one that actually has the original font without a sign, but I thought having it too much would make things go into each other too much. But over here she has a public occurrence, trade. She has the money, she can pay someone to bring her the paper if she wants. Back here past her stall door, she, like I said, has one of the nicer houses. Nice redwood for the walls, a light wood for the roof. She has her own Kiro here. She keeps her money, just anything she really wants to accumulate, store. She has the means to get it. She has her dresser here, some books, makeup, her busted mirror, a nice painting, and I'd say though a small bed. Get out of the way of her stall door, which I thought actually fit pretty nice. It's a good door. I did not expect actually to snap to a door frame when using it. Oh, and this was all made in TGM. I did not actually have to spend any resources to build this, because this is being used as a prenup to my actual series. I didn't want to actually go out, do quests, clear places, and not have it done. So I gave myself some levels, let myself build a place, which I didn't get XP for building, so it just gives a town. Over here is our double layered farming. We have potatoes and corn up top. Down below, nut fruit. We have melons, and we have carrots back there. That's where we get our general food production for the whole settlement. Over here on the right, next to these rocks, we have a rainwater barrel, which when done purifies, if I'm not mistaken, and it goes into the settlement inventory, which gives me a little bit of water to drink, since this will be a survival playthrough. Up here we have Sam, another town guard, on a patrol from down here to overlook the whole settlement, to come back up here and take a peek. She's able to do the patrol more, because like I said, this is a less likely route for people to attack, so she doesn't need to be as worried with people just showing up like they did over towards the front. Back here we have a powered water pump, which provides our settlement with all the water it's going to need. And ironically, next to that, which flows out of the settlement, not down into where the thing pumps out of, we have a outhouse with, forgot the name of the mod. It's the one that lets you set up baths and toilets properly. Purified water. Like a little bit of humor about the whole thing of having an outhouse next to the purifier. Yeah, we have a single outhouse for the settlement. It only houses 11 people. So hopefully no one has conflicting schedules to when they need to use it. Here is our communal living for people such as the previously mentioned farmers, which you could also see, like Greg down here. And I also have better settlers, so some of them come with some pretty interesting clothes. I end up taking a Nuka World jumpsuit off of Father Frederick and give him an actual proper outfit that'll fit being a preacher more. So this is very poor living. You have people living on mattresses and sleeping bags. Maybe in the bottom bunk here, I'm saying bottom bunk since there's a bit of a hole in the ceiling that needs to get patched up. We have more plants that are being harvested and grown to provide for medical supplies. Someone who's taken their meal into that home and started eating on it. Just, like, this isn't meant to be well living. This settlement is supposed to be small and poor. There are people who are wealthy, but most of the settlement does suffer from poverty. But they do have a bath station, which is for the whole settlement. So, the higher ups, they didn't really have the area to get their own bath station, so they just have to use this. As the settlement grows, because it will grow throughout the playthrough, they might end up getting their own place. There'll probably be more living space added, better living space, but for now, this is the state everyone lives in. Right, here off the sign, you can see where we're going up to. Turn on the lights for it. We have a clothing store ran by a child from Orphans of the Commonwealth, if I'm not mistaken. It allows you to have actual children settlers. He showed up here, had to shrink down his mat to make him actually stay the same size, but he runs a clothing store. After this pre-war house was turned into a barn, he claimed some loft space and has done decently well for himself. He can sell clothes, pillows, just general commodities to improve the life of especially the people down below. Whenever they can scrounge up some caps, they can buy a pillow like that man down there. Or they can buy themselves some better clothes since they're starting to wear out. The settlement may provide you with a means of getting food, but it can't provide you with everything, so what little caps you do get might have to go towards buying clothes. Turn off his lights, because that's mainly meant for when it gets darker. Since I do have Pilgrim, it can get pitch black if it's not properly lit. Okay, now over to the left is my personal barracks. After the Minutemen died, I stepped up to be the sheriff of the town. Kind of protect it generally, like Yes, we still have the guards around here, but if there's any raiders threatening or anything like that, I'm the one that's sent out to take care of them. Now, this was made early on. There's been very little tweaks under it since. It was meant to be the most prosperous house, but I kept adding more, and eventually I got outpaced by two other houses, the mayor and the general merchant, but I would say this is still served to be a pretty nice house. I have my own desk for filing paperwork and taking notes, my own weapon storage for things I want to keep to myself and out of general storage, my own Kim's locker, my own alcohol, slippers, a nice rug, I would say, the best rug in the settlement, my own clock. Only thing is there is a little bit of water leakage, but I'd say to have a segregated and have the nicest bed in the settlement, there's not much you can do to complain. Now, behind, it's weird, is this little crook. That's a better way of saying it. It's another place for people to live, to just eat and kind of relax, since the bar only houses one seat. Now, the building that's next to the sheriff's is the clinic. It's something that's pretty well advertised. The sign needs to be stuck onto the other log too. It's a bit loose, but it's pretty well advertised. It brings in a lot of money for the settlement. The doc here has a bit of a deal. It pays a decent amount of money actually off to the mayor. He gets to keep his whole operation running, which is decently profitable to him too. It's Dr. Wesley. He has his cash register set up with his caps. Don't need healed. So I've been playing in God mode building this whole thing. He has some paperwork he's taken. He has a waiting chair with a bell, since this is also his living quarters. He makes a lot of money, but he's pretty frugal with what he does. He has some chemical supplies here. That's a crafting station. Place to clean up. The place where he sleeps, or if there's a patient that's really ill, he may let them use his bed and clean the sheets afterwards, since he doesn't want to catch anything himself. First aid reminder that's not rendering properly due to things being in front of it. Eye chart, a little bit of graffiti, more medical supplies for surgery. Now, if anyone needs surgery, since I said this isn't the most glorious of places, and there's also some spare clothes back there, we couldn't really maintain a proper medical gurney of 5V bags. So we'll try to numb their pain as much as we can with medics and herbal remedies, but to make sure no one lashes out and hurts our high priority doctor here, we strapped them down with steel bars from an insane asylum. Keep them from fighting back and end up hurting our doctor, which we are in great need of keeping good health. We have a mailbox there for general mail. And here, beside the general store, we have a little building we made for a Poseidon generator. Provides our settlement of 30 power. And this is also a custom kind of thing. I just made this off slamming random pieces of metal together. This is one of the first things I built. I think I built it before I even fully set up the general store. So I got pretty lucky. I'd say it turned out pretty cohesive looking. And also the metal roof here allowed for me to actually fully circuit out the power to the whole settlement, which I'm pretty happy with that. I'll say the next thing I should show after everything, there is also decoration like I just haven't mentioned, such as plywood, shovels, like rocks I've added, like small things to kind of add to it. Past all that, back here we have our general storage. Like I said, I personally keep my stuff out of this room, but this is where the settlement will keep its stuff such as armor, weapons, and ammo. My character is going out third person. Spare food and water. Of course, there's also open weapons, stuff display. Some stuff, since I couldn't get the whole freeze in place to work, some stuff has fallen behind the shelves. The pipe rifle back there. I could just get it out. There you go. But yeah, just ammo, workshop stuff, general supplies. Well, this place, as said by the signs I have outside, multiple, it is meant for like the personnel who should be in here. The guards, the sheriff, and maybe the mayor, if times call for it. Now, what I mean by times call for it is this has also been made to kind of serve as an escape. In case something is to happen like what happened to the Minutemen here, and there's to be a large raid, and we don't think we'd be able to hold out. We need to preserve what we can. We have a non-direct powered turret here, which runs off its own energy like batteries. It's pretty good, and it guards a back entrance here. This is built into the junk wall to kind of serve as a bit of an escape route in case of times getting too rough. We don't need to die. The Vagrant's tent back here serves as a bit of cover, and most raids happen during night, so hopefully the guards and the sheriff would be able to sneak out of town without being mowed down by raiders, gunners, or whoever has some ill blood with the settlers at Tenpine. Now, Tenpine, of course, has also turned into a bit more of a held off just in general. It's not just the guards and such that are being very reserved and not caring. Ever since the slaughter, it has become very closed off. We've erected this whole area where we don't let them into the actual city. If they're doing normal trade, or if there's a lot of people, they have to stay in this area, despite there being pre-made signs that you can't get rid of at the railroad telling them to come to Tenpines, which also offers supplies. And up here is the part about talking about the Minutemen settlement. And even though they've fallen, you haven't covered up both sides just because the people that are in here are the people from here, and it doesn't really matter as much. I'm going to fix this. Don't want to hit E on it because I pick it up. But yeah, that's the general gist of it. There's the guard in front has lights that power the front on that switch you just seen. Turns on 3 spotlights, marquee, and the neon signs. Over here is a bit of a switch. It's used to power that street light and I think, yeah, 2 floodlights here. That is it for the settlement of everything I can think of. It has taken, I would say, around 12 hours of building, which wasn't like pure going into it. There's a lot of thinking, and there's also been quite a few hours of me just goofing off and doing very little work. I won't even count because I was waiting on settlers to spawn. Of course, I need a single more settler to fully finish what I want to do for this place, but I thought what I had now was good enough to show. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions for any mods I use, put it in the comments below. I will get the mod's name for you and hopefully a link if I can find one for it. If anyone would like to download the settlement, I said before, I don't know if it was in this take or not, because some stuff happened before. I've been thinking about taking transfer settlements, downloading this, and uploading it. So if anyone would be interested in that, tell me. I'll put my settlement up. You can download it. There would be a lot of mods required, so I use small parts of a good amount of mods. But that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did and you want to see the playthroughs to come, make sure to stick around. It's going by the name of Commonwealth Memoirs. There's the teaser video already up, and this will be in the same playlist most likely, so just keep an eye, subscribe, like the video if you like it. If you want to see me do any more settlement builds, I can do one separate of this whole let's play, and I can just do different themes. And peace out.